Welcome back, Truth Seeker. February 2nd, 2019, the 33rd day of the year. Today I got a request to look into JFK's speech about secret societies from April 27th, 1961. And it was the perfect request for the 33rd day of the year. Let me show you why. JFK. Again, he gave the speech April 27th, 61, shortly after becoming the 35th President of the United States. To his upcoming birthday, May 29th, was 33 days that year. 33 days. And he gave this speech about secrecies and secret societies. He said they're repugnant in a free society. Keep in mind, JFK would die November 22nd in Dallas in Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason. Freemasonry has its headquarters in Washington, D.C. George Washington was a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason, which the city is named after. In the language of Gematria, which is very much a Masonic language, it comes from Kabbalah, Freemasonry, very much invested in Kabbalah. In the language of Gematria, Kennedy sums to 33. The way this works is you take the alphabetic order and you use the rules of numerology. So K is the 11th letter, the numerology 11 is 1 plus 1 is 2. So K becomes 2. E is the 5th letter, so E is 5. N is the 14th letter, the numerology of 14 is 1 plus 4 is 5. N5, E, the 5th letter, D, the 4th, Y is the 25th, the numerology of 25 is 7. You add it up, Kennedy's 33. Using that same cipher, the most pure cipher of the English language, Masonry, secrecy, federal, order, they're all 33. Again, Washington, D.C. is named after the 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason George Washington. And the Scottish Rite's headquarters, known as the House of the Temple, on the outside of the building, it has 33 pillars that are each 33 feet tall. The obsession with 33 comes from Kundalini, old spiritual belief that spiritual ascension happens up the 33 bones of the human vertebrae. Kennedy's death is remembered through the Zapruder film. Zapruder was also a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason, just like George Dealey, which Dealey Plaza is named after. So here's what else is interesting. The date JFK gave his speech, April 27th, 1961, it was a date with a numerology of 48. It's the life lesson number path. Very interesting because Illuminati sums to 48. The secret society that was Masonic, that was established May 1st, 1776. And the founder of the Bavarian Illuminati is Adam Weishaupt. Using the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, his name is 51. Again, he established the order on May 1st, 5-1. They were an organization that was centered on conspiracy. Conspiracy is 51 in this same cipher. We'll talk about these other ciphers ahead, but the most pure is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So, it was a date with 48 numerology, Illuminati 48, a Masonic order, a secret society established just before the American Revolution. The word Freemason in Hebrew, the original alphabet, where numbers were encoded into words, in Hebrew the word Freemason's 48. It also is in English when you run the alphabetic order in reverse. This is a Masonic language. So, Truman, the 33rd president, exactly 1 month after JFK was killed, he published this article, Limit CIA Role. This was in the Washington Post, December 22nd, 1963. The 33rd president, JFK killed on 11/22, 11 plus 22, 33. A month to the day, Truman, the 33rd president, came out and said the CIA needs to be reduced to an intelligence gathering agency, an information gathering agency with no other power. And this was his response to JFK's assassination. So what was he indirectly communicating? And keep in mind, the CIA is a secretive organization. Fits into this theme of secrecy and secret societies. But the 33rd president is also who signed the CIA and SNA. All these things that spy on us, all the things used today to keep surveillance over us and collect our information, those are all the things the 33rd president Truman signed into being. The other thing about April 27th is it's the 117th day of the year. And there's a couple things that are interesting about that. The United States of America equals 117. Central Intelligence Agency equals 117. And notice CIA has this value of 13, alphabetic order and alphabetic order with rules of numerology, because it's all single digit letters, CIA 391. When you write out 13, it sums to 117. And 13, very important to this nation. 13 stripes on the flag, 13 colonies to begin. The letters USA with the alphabetic order equal 41, the 13th prime. The Bavarian Illuminati was established with 13 families. JFK ended up getting killed in Dallas. Dallas, one of few 13 cities in the nation. Not a long list of cities that sum to 13. Dallas, the most notable one, where JFK was killed. So you just got to say, what are the odds? What are the odds? And also, what are the odds that JFK gives this speech about secrecy exactly 33 days from his 44th birthday? He was the 44th term president, the 35th president occupying the 44th term. Some presidents have more than one term, that's why. 44, a deadly number throughout history. The first president to die in office was William Henry Harrison. He died on April 4th, 4-4. If you've read my book, there's a chapter on presidential assassinations. It's a number that's connected to every presidential assassination. So a couple more things that you should know. If you write out Catholic in the most pure cipher, it's 35. JFK was the 35th president elected on a date with 35 numerology. He was born on the 149th day of the year, which is the 35th prime number. JFK was killed at age 46. Notice when you flip the alphabetic order around and use the rules of numerology, Catholic 46. Think about his brother, RFK. He's got the 35-46 thing going too. The day JFK was killed was a date with 96 numerology. 11, 22, 63, 11 plus 22 plus 63, 96. Again, we talked about how he gave the speech on a date with 48 numerology. The way these ciphers work, the green cipher is just the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26. The next cipher is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. The next cipher is the reverse alphabetic order. So Z1 back to A is 26. And then the last is the reverse alphabetic order with rules of numerology. The day JFK died, 11/22/1963, another path with the numerology is to add 11 plus 22 plus 19 plus 63, which equals 115. Freemasons, the plural, is 115. And the word Masonic, when you flip the alphabetic order around, is 115. The word killing is 115. Fateful number. Shows up a lot around death in history. Also interesting, and what keeps me scratching my head wondering, is with the alphabetic order, JFK assassination equals 187, a number that's associated with homicide. JFK died in the 187th year of the nation's existence. The 187th year. 1776, 1963. And this is a big number. Again, he died in Dealey Plaza, named after a Scottish Rite Freemason. Etched on the headquarters of the Scottish Rite in D.C. are the words Ancient Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, which in using the alphabetic order and rules of numerology is 187. If you write out Washington, D.C., and flip the alphabetic order around, it's 187. If you write out the name George Washington with the alphabetic order, it's 187. He died in history on December 14th. There's very few dates when written out that sum to 187. December 14th happens to be one of them, the day George Washington died. And what else is weird is if you write out 1214, another way to express that date, also 187. Big number that plays again and again in D.C. Donald Trump, for example, had his GOP convention begin July 18th, 18/7, a span of 187 days from Inauguration Day, and not by accident. Big number. Trump's been compared to Richard Nixon, 187. Right now, he's being investigated by Robert Mueller. Could go on. It's a long list of 187 in D.C. Big number. And realize, what goes on in D.C. is theater. It's planned. It's scripted. Could the JFK assassination been part of this script? Was he really murdered? Keep in mind the Zapruder film wasn't clear until the late 90s. Nobody could make out anything in that film until the late 90s, more than 30 years after he died. And we're all aware of cinema and television. I mean, how many people do we see die on TV and in films that don't really die? So things to think about. Realize, in the 60s, a lot of people were assassinated, and what came out of it was fear, and a fear of not speaking out. Almost everyone from that generation, especially the youth, they learned to not speak out. They learned to be turtles, to keep their head tucked in. So this JFK assassination, notice the 52. November 22nd, 1963, the path to a life lesson number is you add the day plus the month whole. So 11 plus 22 is 33, and then you add the year digit by digit. So 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 3, which is plus 19 more. So 33 plus 19 is 52. JFK died on a date with a life lesson number of 52. JFK assassination is 52. President, when you flip the alphabetic order around, is 52. White House with the alphabetic order is 52. Government is 52. Authority, 52. Big number. Big number. 52. Come back to JFK assassination. Notice 110. He was killed in Dealey Plaza. Dealey has the gematria of 110 as well as 52. And again, President, 110 as well as 52. JFK's assassination was also foreshadowed on the Andy Griffith Show. On the Andy Griffith Show. There's an episode from Christmas Day about a bootlegging family getting busted at the address 411 Elm Street. And they say the fatal shot was fired from 411 Elm Street. There's a cipher outside of the base ciphers. It's called Jewish Gematria. It's based on the Latin order of the alphabet. In Jewish Gematria, assassins 411. They say JFK was shot from 411 Elm Street. Notice the 115. He died on a date with 115 numerology. In case you don't know about the Andy Griffith episode, I'll pull it up here. This isn't some conspiracy nonsense. It's right here. It was from 1961 too. And notice Assassin 61. This is from Christmas Day 1961. And you know what else trips me out about that? Christmas has the Gematria 61. During the 1961 episode, Sheriff Barney, it is revealed that Barney Fife lives at 411 Elm Street, Mayberry. Coincidentally, this is the exact same address of the Texas Schoolhouse Depository Building in Dallas from which Lee Harvey Oswald would shoot and kill President John F. Kennedy nearly 2 years later. And this episode, again, is about a bootlegging family getting busted. The Kennedys were known to be bootleggers. That's how they came to power. That's how they got their money. And just for the record, in light of the 33 lesson, what year did Prohibition end? Alcohol is 33. Predictive programming. This is something that's been going on for centuries, truly. The Titanic fits into this pattern. There was a book called Futility, The Wreck of the Titan, which came out a decade before the Titanic sank. Futility, The Wreck of the Titan is about a boat, the biggest boat ever built, called the Titan, sinking on its first sail after hitting an iceberg. Secret societies putting out events that they have planned before they happen, coding them in subtle ways. I've always thought it was funny that the Kennedys would stay in politics in light of what happened to John F. Kennedy as well as Robert F. Kennedy. And speaking of 33, Robert's 33. Sirhan, his assassin, Sirhan is 33. Sirhan is 66. Robert Kennedy died on June 6th, 6-6. Of course, Robert Kennedy's also 66, dead on June 6th. Robert Kennedy was shot June 5th, which is the 156th day of the year, dead on June 6th. See how that works? There's actually a whole lot more to JFK's assassination, and in my book, I have not only a chapter on JFK's assassination, but I have another chapter on the Kennedy curse and all of the suspicious deaths in the Kennedy family. It's a long list. But great request here. Perfect day to ask. And I don't believe I'd ever noticed before that he did give that speech 33 days from his birthday. So guess it was meant to be figured out here on February 2nd, the 33rd day of the year. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Put out a lot of important content. And really, you'll do yourself a big favor picking up that book. Nearly 800 pages and only $5. It's an instant download that you're welcome to print out. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.